Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to share how I made some quick and easy junk journal tags. I'm using some cardstock that I'm showing there and this beautiful book from which I have cut these images. So I don't know why I cut so many out. I tend to overdo everything, so that's the only thing I can say about it. But I thought I would show this book because it has some beautiful floral images. There you see some of them, and I have cut out a lot of pages, as you saw there already in images, so that's why you can't see as many in my book. So I'm using those images. I don't know, I got inspired about this idea somehow, and I decided to go for it. I'm going to use some book pages and some sheet music. I also have some washi tape, and something I didn't show, which I'll show later, is some labels. And I'm using also this, the things from this little holder, I guess I'll call it, that I made that holds all of my, the items I received from a Your Creative Studio box quite a while ago. I got inspired to make this when I got the box using the items from the box, and then I'm storing the rest of the items in this little holder thingy. And I also used a little bit of Tim Holtz paper, like scrapbook type paper, to make the pages. So I'll leave a link to the video showing how I made that holder in case you're interested. Okay, let's start. So I wanted to use that size tag, but I didn't want to use the craft paper tags. I wanted it to be lighter because I thought some of the tag might show through. So, and it does, so I wanted a lighter color. So I just traced the size on my cardstock there and cut some tags out. So I'm following a very simple process. Most of the tags I make, I think, look really nice, but they're pretty easy to make. And I have this beautiful paper book pages from a French book that I found in an antique store a while ago. And I love the pages. They're such a nice color. So I'm trimming the papers because I want kind of a patchwork sort of background using mostly colors of beige, but I do like to vary the colors a bit, some lighter colors, some darker colors, and then some different types of paper, as you see, sheet music, book pages, and things like that. So I'm just doing this just as I go along, deciding what to do, not really thinking too much about it. And I have made backgrounds like this a lot, so it's my, one of my go-to methods, and I'm just testing out the images to see how it looks so far, and I'm quite happy with that. So I wanted to use this, the paper from the Your Creative Studios, some of the items too, not just papers, from this box, because a lot of times I get these boxes and I use some of the items, but they are so generous and have so many things in them that I don't always use the items. So I'm again on a kick of using what I have before I buy new things. But who am I kidding? I'll probably buy new things anyway. So I'm pulling out things that I thought I might use. That butterfly paper is way too big, even though it's beautiful. So this box came with that beautiful vellum paper, and so I decided to use that. I thought it would make a nice addition to my background. So I'm just testing out which papers look the best, and I try not to think too hard about these things and obsess over every piece of paper, but sometimes it's hard and you have to, just audition different papers and try them out. So I finally picked one and I'm going to go for it. Now with vellum, you can use glue, as you see, glue stick, any type of glue, I think, as long as it dries clear, because you can see through it a little bit. But you do have to make sure with a glue stick that you have enough on there, because the vellum tends to curl up on the ends if you don't have glue all the way underneath that paper. So the box came with those papers that you see there, and they provide another color of beige. So I'm going to use those. And I like the part with the numbers because that's something different that I don't have on the background yet. So another thing I do when I make tags like this is I usually make several at a time because I have like a formula that I follow. I'm kind of making it up as I go along, the formula, but it's a formula nonetheless. So the rest of the backgrounds I'm going to make are made very similarly with the 4 different types of paper you see in the background, and then I'll use one of the images that I have cut out of the book. Then I believe there I'm pulling out my labels because that was the other thing I wanted to use. I had it off to the side, but I forgot to show them earlier. So again, I have to try all the labels. I want to get one that's the right size and the right color too. For me, the right size and color is just what I think looks good. So for you, it could be different. No worries about it. It's just, what I think looks good. So the one thing I like about that one label that I'm using is that it matches the color of that paper on the top right. So I think that looks good, and that's why I'm using it. And also I like the size too, as I said before. So usually I glue papers and things with another piece of paper underneath so I don't get my gluey mess all over the place, but I forgot to bring a piece of paper with me before recording, and I was too lazy to go get one. And I'm just on a roll here, so I'm going to keep going and clean up my mess as I go along. So before I finish the background of that other tag, for some reason I decided to start another one, but then I forgot that I also wanted to use some washi tape. So that's what I'm doing there. I'm just adding a piece of washi tape. I always add extra glue when I use washi tape because it doesn't always stick that well. So I'm going to put that one to the side, and I'm going to make the next one again in the same way as the other one. And I'm going to show you how I put this one together because I actually do finish it, and then I make some more that I make off camera because the process is exactly the same. And one other thing I wanted to say about the papers is that often, not only do I like to vary the shades of beige, and also I like to vary the sizes of the papers that I glue down, and maybe the orientations. I might put some, sideways, and that sort of thing. I know some people don't mind text and things that are upside down, but personally I don't care for that, so that's one thing I don't do, is put things upside down, on purpose anyway. So this one is a smaller image, I guess I decided to use for whatever reason, and I'm trying to figure out how to fill up that page. The same process that I used before. Where to put the papers, which paper looks good. I overlapped a little there, so more of the pattern paper would show up. And then you can see there that I'm going to put that paper sideways so that it's something a little different. For whatever reason, I decided I was going to use one of the smaller images, and so I am going to put this one together. There's not really much more to say about this process. It's pretty straightforward. I think you can figure out what I'm doing. One other thing I wanted to say is about the butterflies is that I also tried to vary, or not vary, but match the colors of the butterflies to look, to look good with the tag again. So you can see the butterfly has blue, the label has blue, and the butterfly also has a little bit of pinky color, which the flowers also have that I'm using on there. And all of a sudden I'm switching glues. I don't know why, but any glue that you want to use is fine. I use a lot of times I use my glue stick, but I also use the Dries Clear glitter art glue. It's called something like that. It doesn't have glitter in it, but it has glitter in the name. And sometimes I use that glue because it's just quicker than using my glue stick. And as I said before, I get lazy, so I just use what's convenient. So there's how that one looks. Now I think I could have stopped there, but for whatever reason, I decided to use the washi tape. I think it does add a little something extra, which I like. So I'm going to add a little washi tape. Earlier you saw me pulling apart the sticker, the butterfly sticker, and I know a lot of people have a challenge, are challenged by getting the backs off those translucent stickers. So if you noticed, I used 2 pieces of tape, one on the front, one on the back, and then pulled them apart, kind of like you would pull apart layers of napkins, if you've ever seen that technique. So I decided to use 2 pieces of washi, and so I'm going to go back to the first tag and add another piece of washi on that one, and then use a butterfly on that one. I decided for the remaining tags that I would use somewhat smaller butterflies, and as you'll see there, I'm going to do my tape trick there and pull the back off of that sticker, and then I'm trying to figure out if I want to put the butterfly like that or like that, and I decide to put it straight. I think it looks fine either way, but I really like the way those look. So I'm going to continue with that and make some more tags. Here is where I am with the tags. As you can see, I made several. I'm talking a lot about that tag because I had a lot of extra space at the bottom, and I just added a postage stamp there, and I'm just saying I could have cut it. I thought about cutting it to make it a little shorter than the others, but in the end I added the postage stamp, which I think looks good. So there are all my tags. I really like the way these turned out, and the last thing I wanted to do is punch the hole at the top. So what I do when I make a tag like this using another one as my guide is I just put them together as you see there and line them up and then punch the hole. And that's just the easiest way for me to do it. And the other thing I was saying a minute ago is that I might add some scrapbook paper, some prettier paper, even maybe a book page on the backs of those tags just to make them look a little bit nicer. But it really depends on what you're going to use your tags for. So I'm just going to add some sari silk to the tops of the tags. I had this little scrap of fabric that I thought I would add to the top and show a different way to finish them off if you don't want to punch a hole. And then I'm going to continue that, and I'll be back with a look at the rest of my tags and a little wrap-up. Back because I wanted to show you with the tags with the rest of the ribbons, and I changed out that one fabric because I didn't like that particular one. I've used that beige off-white color before, but in a thicker fabric. I thought that other one was too thin, and I had this scrap on my desk, so I decided to use that. And I added the blue one here because I thought that looked nice with the big butterfly and the blue tag label. So this is how they all turned out, and I'm pleased with the result. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.